Hello and welcome. Today we are gonna work on Scissor jack assembly. When we complete it, the completed assembly look like this. So when we hold it on the top part bracket, it should work like this. Right? Let's begin. First, you guys need need to open the Onshape document located below the description part of this video. And when you click on that document, you should see this one. And the next part, we are gonna make a copy the workspace. We're gonna click copy, and we are gonna say Scissor jack assembly copy, or you can just delete the copy. Since my second one, I'm gonna click the second. Now we are gonna go to arm link subassembly on the bottom, and we are gonna click insert the pin component. So I'm gonna click the insert, and I'm gonna look for it's generating preview. It's gonna take a little bit time. Refresh it. Click insert. Okay, so the first we are gonna insert the pin. Left click, and I'm going to click the green check mark. Left click and thread manipulator, and we're gonna move them 90 degree in this section and 90 degree on this axis. So I'm gonna click the 90 degree and left click. So when you have this, and you're gonna click the right view. Okay, when we click the right view, as you can see, the right view should look like this, but we need to use the thread manipulator to rotate the component and fix the center of the outer edge of the hole. So we're gonna left click, and we're gonna move the thread manipulator here. I just moved a little bit, and it automatically snapped the center of the hole here. And I'm gonna right click here, and I'm gonna say move to origin. So it's gonna go here. All right. Now we just need to fix. So I'm gonna right click and fix the pin here. So we fix it so it's easy to see here. When I click the isometric view, it looks like this one. Okay. Now the next part, we are gonna insert pin arm and insert arm lower, and we're gonna add arm upper. So left click arm lower, left click arm upper, and the green check mark. Zoom out, and we have them here. So I'm gonna just move them around. Okay, this is the left, the move. This is the lower arm, and this one is the upper arm, and we are gonna use now revolute mate. Okay, I'm going to click here the outer edge of the hole, and then zoom out, zoom in, just move them a little bit, and I want them to touch here. Right, and the green check mark. Isometric view, so it looks like this. When I click the right view, the preview should look like this. So the blue part should touch in the over here, the green part. Isometric view, and then I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna click the hide. Now I'm gonna add the upper arm. Again, I'm gonna use the revolute mate. This time I'm gonna choose the choose again the outer side of the hole. I choose here and then just move them this way. No, not this one. Okay, I'm gonna just click here. I need to choose the inner part of the circle, the hole, and then I'm gonna just go to I'm gonna go to here, and I want them to touch this part. There we go. Then I'm gonna click green check, the isometric view. Let's check the right view. So right view should look like this. Perfect. Now I can show the arm lower, zoom out, and let's move this one a little bit up version. Yeah, it looks good. So we have completed arm link sub assembly. Now the next step. So we're gonna click the plus sign here, insert new element, and we're gonna click the create assembly. And we need to name this assembly screw sub assembly. So I'm gonna name it screw sub assembly. Right click on the assembly file, rename, and just screw sub assembly. So we're gonna insert screw component first. So I'm gonna click the insert, and I'm gonna go to screw, left click, and I'm gonna click the green check mark. Definitely click the green check mark, so it's gonna fix it to sub-assembly origin. Okay, so it's gonna be fixed here. Actually I need to fix it first. So right click, and we need to click fix. Next we are gonna insert again. This time we are gonna insert a pin handle. Left click, green check mark, and I just need to move this guy here, and I'm gonna use revolute mate, and then I need to choose the middle here, that the z-axis, the blue line, and I need to find the middle on this hole. So that's the blue line. Just need to choose. There we go. And let's see the preview, guys. So it works perfect. And the green check mark. Click the isometric view. It looks good. So it opens the second revolute mate automatically. I'm gonna just exit out from here. Okay, it seems we completed screw sub assembly. Now the next part, we are gonna create a new assembly again, and this time we are gonna name it top assembly. So I'm gonna just copy what the procedure says, create assembly. I'm gonna right click, and I'm gonna say rename and top assembly. Okay, we are on the top assembly now. So this top assembly where the main assembly will be built. So we are gonna have all the parts here. First we're gonna insert the foot. I'm gonna click the insert, and I'm gonna click the foot, left click. The reason I always click here because if something else might be happen here, so we just want to have the foot. You might have like other parts on this foot file, so therefore I always click here. So I'm gonna get to this foot, and I'm gonna click the green check mark. Now it is centered here, so let's see. Centered, perfect. It's centered. Isometric, and I'm gonna right click and fix. Next, what we're gonna do next. So next we are gonna again insert, but this time instead of parts 2 we're gonna use the assemblies, and we are gonna get two arm link sub assembly and one screw sub assembly. So I'm gonna left click arm link sub assembly. That's the first one. I'm gonna one more click left. So I have two screw sub assembly, and I'm gonna arm link sub assembly and one screw sub assembly. Zoom out, and if I just move them over here, okay, and click green check mark. Let's move one of the arm link assembly over here. Let's position them approximately where they're gonna go. So I'm gonna left click here. I'm gonna use the triad manipulator. Let's make them 180 degree. Turn this direction. Good, and let's put them closer to here. Okay, now next step, we are gonna use again revolute mate, and we are gonna get the arm link assemblies. We're gonna put them on the foot. Okay, so to be able to do that, we're gonna choose again, if you use guys the circles, it helps a lot easier. So I'm gonna use the outer part of this hole. I'm gonna click, and then I want them to go to inside of this whole circle. So I'm gonna just choose here. Let's see the movement. Looks good. So I'm gonna click solve, green check mark. Now the second revolute, it automatically pops up. So that's good. So I don't need to activate the revolute tool again. The same thing. So I'm gonna click the outer edge of this hole and zoom out, zoom in, and I'm gonna choose the inner circle of this hole. Let's see the motion. Looks good. Solve, green check mark. And let's see the front view. So we should have this one is completed. Okay. Now we are gonna use a cylindrical mate to connect the handle end of the screw to the right pin. So we're gonna connect this screw to here. We're gonna use the cylindrical mate. Okay, and then let's choose. Let's move them around. Let's make it isometric view. Okay, that's the blue line here, and we are gonna supposed to choose here. It's perfect. Okay. Not, we are not supposed to do this way. So I'm gonna just exit out. Again, I'm gonna use the cylindrical mate. Zoom, 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 zoom. And we're gonna choose here the outer circle. And then I'm gonna click the isometric here. Zoom, zoom. And I'm gonna choose this circle. Perfect. And then let's see the motion. Okay, we don't want them to move forward, right? So therefore we're gonna click the limit, and we're gonna make them 0, 0, 0, and 0. And solve the motion. Perfect. And we're gonna click the green check mark. And we're gonna click the isometric view. So this part is completed. We want them to put over here, but it automatically goes actually. But if I move it, you will see that it's moving, right? So we don't want them to happen. So therefore, we are gonna use cylindrical mate. I'm gonna click cylindrical mate, and then I'm gonna choose the screw, and then just move them around and choose this hole. Make sure again on the z-axis, the blue lines, guys, that you guys are seeing now, they are supposed to parallel to each other. Now let's see the motion. Now it looks good. I'm gonna click solve and click the green check mark. Right, so we are supposed to click the green check mark. It seems correct actually. So when we click the front view, all right, let's see the motion. Yes, perfect. So it seems everything else is correct. Now we're gonna click the isometric view. Now, as you can see, the screw and the bottom part are not parallel, but we want them to parallel to each other. To be able to do that, we are gonna use mate connector tool, and I'm gonna click the isometric here, and then we are gonna change the on entity to between entities, and I'm gonna choose the left side first, and I'm gonna choose the right side on the between entity. And as you can see, the z-axis, the blue line, towards to screen, but we want them to towards on left. To be able to do that, I'm going to click the realign, and then I'm going to choose, I want them to go this direction. Perfect. As you can see, it goes that direction now. I'm going to click green check. Now when I click the front view, you guys see that the z-axis goes on the left direction. Why I did that actually? Now I'm gonna use parallel mate, and then I want this section of the pin, or doesn't matter, you can click even that screw. The parallel always the bottom foot, so I just need to click the mate connector that I just made it, and just click the solve, and let's say green check mark, and click the isometric, and click the front. So now as you can see, it is parallel, guys. No matter, just need to exit out from here. If I move it, so the screw is always parallel to foot here. Okay. Now I don't want to see this mate connector, so I'm gonna hide it. I'm gonna click the isometric view. Now we are almost done. I'm gonna click the insert again. This time I need to add two pin large. So I'm gonna one click, two click. That's the two pin large, and I need to add two pin small. One click, second click, and the last one I need the top bracket, and I'm gonna just put them over here. So we have the 5 element and the green check mark. It is completed. So I'm gonna move pin large where they belongs to. I'm gonna put pin small where they're gonna go here actually, and I'm gonna get the top bracket. Now we are gonna use revolute mate again, and I want the inner version of this hole to touch in outside of this hole. Let's see the motion. It looks good. Okay, now I'm gonna click green check mark. Now I'm gonna add again the revolute mate and the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna click the inner circle of this hole, and I need to click other part of this hole. Click the solve, and let's see, is there any motion? Perfect. And when we click green check mark, I'm gonna exit out on the fifth one. When I click the front view, perfect. We have them, but the problem is again the same thing. The top bracket is supposed to be parallel to the foot. As you can see, it looks weird, right, guys? So to be able to fix that, I'm gonna use again mate connector. I'm gonna click the isometric view. Oops. I'm gonna just exit out. Let's put them in the correct direction first. So it's supposed to be. So if you guys play around, these things can happen. All right. If something happened like that, guys, there's always easier way that you can just use undo, 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 undo. If it doesn't seem like it is easy to fix it, you can just go back, undo, undo, undo. Let's see. Yes. Okay. When I click the front view, now it's better. Okay. I just used the undo, undo, undo. Now I'm gonna use the mate connector, and then I'm gonna go choose the top part of the top bracket, and I'm gonna click OK, and I'm gonna use again the mate connector, and this time zoom out. I'm gonna choose the bottom part of it. All right, and then isometric view and click OK. Now I'm gonna use parallel mate, and then I just need to click the mate connector that I made it. That's the first one, and this one is the second, and I'm gonna click the solve, green check mark. Let's see what happened. So I'm gonna just exit out from this and click the isometric, click the front view. Now as you can see, the top bracket and the bottom is parallel to each other. It looks pretty good. Now I don't want to see these mate connectors. I'm gonna hide it. Hide it. It's better now. So the last part, we are gonna add the pins now. So to be able to add the pins, let's start from the top part. So I'm gonna use cylindrical mate, and then I need to choose this part, circle. I hope bell is not gonna ring again. It's kind of not good. while making videos. Okay, and the next I'm gonna choose the outer edge of this hole. Preview looks good. I'm gonna click the green check. We can see the motion. Okay, it's not good, so we don't want them to move back and forth. We're gonna limit them. We're gonna add 0, 0, and add these zeros, and then we click to solve. Solve, and see the motion. Now they're not going. So when we click the green check, perfect. Again, we are gonna use syndical mate. And I'm gonna choose this outer edge, and then I'm gonna choose this outer edge now. Perfect. It snaps into place, but sometimes you may see it this way. If you see this way, you just need to click this arrow, flip the primary axis. Okay, and make sure the limit, put them to 0, 0, and click green check mark. And let's see the front view. Right, so we have the top pins. It's on the place. Now we are gonna add the larger pins. So again, we are gonna use cylindrical mate. I'm gonna choose this side, and then we just need to choose here the circle. Like I said, so this is the example. It's a good example. So when I click to flip the primary axis, make sure to put the limit or 0, because if you don't put, it will make them to move forward, right? So when we put the zeros, it doesn't make them to go on the translationally. I'm gonna click the green check mark. It's completed. So next one, cylindrical mate. It's automatically pops in for me. So I'm gonna just choose again this circle, and then I'm gonna choose the inner version of it. Okay, the outer circle again. Flip. Put the limits 0, 0. Say okay, and then let's click the isometric view, and let's check it. Up and down, it moves pretty good. If I go to front view, you can see the top screw and the bottom part are parallel to each other. So our Scissor jack assembly part 2 works perfect. That's the one way to check it. The second part we are gonna check. That's the important one. That's gonna be actually tell us if we did this assembly correct or not. So we're gonna add a fastened mate. I'm gonna click. I'm gonna choose the top version of the bracket, and I'm gonna choose the bottom, and then we are gonna put offset for the z-axis going to be 500 millimeter, and then we're gonna say okay. Now what happened is here, guys, I cannot move them anymore. The distance from the top to bottom is 500 millimeter. Okay, when you have this is for the just checking purposes. You are supposed to click display mask properties, and you're gonna click the top assembly. If you see the z-axis 210 millimeter, it means the assembly you did is correct. If it is not, it means you need to check your process. You need to make some changes, guys. I'm gonna exit out. I'm gonna put isometric view again, and I'm gonna delete fasten part because I don't want them to be here, so I can move the screw assembly up and down easily. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.